Hey there, this is attorney Sarah Holmes of Holmes Business Law P.C. We are a business and trademark law firm that also offers general subscription services to business owners. Now, one question we get from people often is, what type of trademark should I file? People may have been doing some Google research and they understand that there's different types of trademarks, there's different ways that a trademark could be filed, and what would be right for them. The first thing to understand is that, yes, I guess there really are two different types of trademarks. There's a trademark, which is TM, and there's service marks, which could be an SM. In reality, when you fill out an application, you don't really need to distinguish between the two because you're going to pick from a menu of goods and services that you might be providing under the mark, and then that's how the application would get submitted. So you don't really need to know or distinguish too much between the goods and services. However, you just have to be wary when you file the application that you are correctly submitting what it is that you do to the trademark office. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you, let's say you are an interior decorator, right? But that you also sell products to your clients. Well, the question then is, what categories are you applying under? One thing to keep in mind is that your interior decorating services may be one type of category, but then let's say if you are also selling to clients, maybe you're selling curtains or window treatments, maybe you're selling them the plan itself, maybe planograms, drawings, things like that. That could actually be the product then that is trademarked rather than the service. And that would be an important distinction to make in your trademark application. So think very carefully about whether what it is you want to protect and what you are providing are services or goods, and then making sure that you are selecting the proper things when submitting your trademark application. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that there are different ways to file a trademark, and each one is going to have a different path and some different fees associated with it. So the first way to file a trademark is based on actual use of the mark, and that is just like it sounds, meaning I have launched this brand, I'm selling this product, I'm selling it as of today, the date I'm submitting this trademark application. That's an actual use application. At the time I file that application, I'm going to have to provide evidence of that use to the trademark office, and then I will pay a fee, and I might hear from the trademark office in these days about 15 months from now, right? So that's actual use, meaning you are using the mark at the time and you have evidence of that when you submit and file the application. Now, the other way to file a trademark is intent to use, and that too is exactly as it sounds, meaning today, if I'm filing this trademark application, I am not actually using this trademark yet, or I don't have evidence of its use that would really be proper, but I want to make sure I get my application filed to get it protected, and I'm going to file on an intent to use basis. You can do that. The big difference is going to be when you file that application, you are not submitting the evidence of use with that initial application. So what happens then? So what happens then is that your trademark is going to go through the normal process, meaning the Trademark and Patent Office, USPTO, is going to look at your application. They're going to do a search to see if there's any conflicts. They're going to raise any potential issues, but otherwise it's going to progress pretty normally through the process. If they have raised no issues with it, what they will do sometime right now these days, maybe 15, 18 months in the future, they will issue what they call a notice of allowance, meaning that basically so far, this trademark has met all the minimum criteria to qualify as a trademark, and therefore all they're waiting for you to do now is submit evidence of your actual use and tell them what date you started using it, and then it would go on, assuming there's no problems with the evidence you've submitted, it will go on to register and you would get a formal registration certificate. The downside to that is when you do that and you go and file that evidence, however many months later, there's going to be another filing fee due to USPTO, and it's going to be fees per class or category of goods or services. So this could be, more like hundreds of dollars, additional fees, many months down the road. Now, if you get to that point and you're still not using the trademark for whatever reason, maybe your market research isn't completed, your website hasn't been launched, you actually haven't started using the mark yet, don't worry, you can get extensions. You can get up to 5-6 month extensions. So in reality, you could drag this process out for about 3 years before USPTO is going to say, hey, you've never filed this evidence and we're just canceling, and you're going to abandon this mark at this point. So you have a really, really long time to get the evidence and to start using it once you file on intent to use. However, they do need to know from you that you really always maintain a good faith basis to use it. You can't just squat on a mark to prevent someone else from using it. You still should really be making strides during that period of time, whether it's market research or doing something else, some other activities around the mark, to show a good faith that you do still intend to use it in the future. And then don't forget that all of those extension filings are also going to incur fees. So this is not free or cheap, and if you end up getting that many extensions, you're probably thousands of dollars into trademark filing fees at that point. So, of course, if you need help filing a trademark, you have a question about what basis to file or what type of mark you would need, you can feel free to reach out to our office. Our number is 215-482-0285. Thanks.